Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare with your children being raised by someone else? With our free information, you can lead a less stressful life, work from home, and start earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom41.com. Freedom41.com. And start earning great money as soon as next week.
Pop superstar Debbie Gibson is joining us on the line. She's a contestant on Celebrity Apprentice this season, and it was a very explosive season, so I want to check in with her about her thoughts. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Now, I guess ruthless would be a great word to describe this season. I don't even know. Can you sum up the experience? Like, what was it like? Because I felt bruised just watching it.
It's so funny. I know. I ran into Mary Lou Henner in the street not too long ago in New York, and she said she pretty much felt violated when she finished the show. It really is. It's a very strange thing. It's like you purposely put yourself in this position to be talked about behind your back, and for people to take pot shots at you. And you know, it's interesting. I mean, I do what I do, and I love doing what I do. I never walk around thinking I'm the best singer, or my songs are the best. So to hear people, it's like going back to high school. Oh, you think you're so great because you have a hit. It's like, well, no, it's just that I have this hit, so why wouldn't I use it? I can get the publishing cleared and use it, and it's an asset. And so it's very interesting because other people's insecurities come out, and then they lash out at you, and you've got to remind yourself where those comments are coming from. So I didn't really feel personally attacked per se, but at the same time I knew that I couldn't partake in those kinds of attacks, and that's when it was time for me to leave. Like, I felt it coming. I was like, it's getting into the low blows are going to keep people on the show land, and I'm not into that. So
yeah,
I won $50,000 for Children International, left with my head held high in a rockin' dress that got called out for being too rockin'. And that was my stay on the show.
I guess one of the things is that, because I was going to ask you, is it worth putting yourself through that? And you said it right there, that, the money for charity and doing a good thing like that does make it worth it, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, when I went into it, what I realized was there was no right or wrong way to go. I felt like had I said no, I would have had a different year and might have recorded my new album already. But that album might have come out, maybe less people would have heard it. Maybe having done the show now, I'll go record my new album, more people will be aware of it. Or, it's hard, you can, second guess yourself to death, but I just decided that I would rather be in the middle of it going, oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? As opposed to sitting home on the couch saying, oh man, I chickened out of that, I should have done it. So I just went for it. I usually am a go-for-it kind of person, and, everything's an experience that strengthens you and adds something to your life. And, it was definitely, I always knew that I had stamina and was resourceful, but it tests it in a kind of different way, and it makes you have to really find your center, because everything about that show, they're trying to knock you off your center and have you explode and have you say things you're going to later regret. And, I can honestly say that I watched the show back and I was like, okay, I'm not perfect. I don't love every color that I see of myself, but I stand by the decisions that I made, and I am able to sleep at night. I didn't do anything that I felt was completely abandoning my moral center.
And I know your biggest fan on the show, of course, is Aubrey O'Day. And, I mean, admittedly, most of us here had never heard of her before, but I'm sure we'll never forget her. So, two things to that. Did you know she was saying the things that she was about you on the show? And two, what do you think of her now after hearing the comments?
Well, what's funny is, we speak. We just spoke a week ago. She's coming out to help my arts foundation that I run, Gibson Girl Foundation. She's coming out to help me at my benefit next week. She's actually a really good girl, and she's just, I think she kind of fell into that reality trap of saying one-line clips to get good ratings. You kind of get addicted to being like the person that gives the great interviews, and the producers come, yeah, cool, like I said earlier, look, Clay asked me to put that song in the medley. To do one of your hits, I said, well, actually, probably tempo-wise, Shake Your Love Goes Best with These. We're not going to take it, and I was musically putting that together. doing. I just love to sing. In fact, I didn't love to sing on the show because we were all like sleep deprived. I wasn't really in singing mode, and I don't think I'm the best singer in the whole world anyway. But so yeah, to hear her saying that stuff was kind of like it kind of took me back to high school because I had a hit record out in high school, and that's what the kids were like.
Yes, they were. All right, we've got to get back to the music more with Debbie Gibson right after this.
Today's best music with Jeremy Bradley.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare with your children being raised by someone else? With our free information, you can lead a less stressful life, work from home, and start earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom41.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom41.com. Freedom41.com. And start earning great money as soon as next week.
We are back talking with Debbie Gibson from Celebrity Apprentice this season.
Earlier in the season, Aubrey had sent out some accusatory tweets saying that it was editing and she didn't, this didn't really play out this way. Do you have the same opinion? Were you portrayed accurately? Did you notice anything a little bit different about what happened as opposed to how it aired?
I mean, there were definitely 95% of what you see happened, but the thing is, like, sometimes entire storylines are edited out. So, like, if I was being called lazy or not a team player or not, they might have edited out an entire storyline where I was running down the street with heavy objects and doing manual labor, which happened all the time. You never saw me doing that, and I was constantly doing that on the show. And I actually understand TV. I understand that the producers went, ooh, we need a way to wrap this up. Let's find somewhere where she's feeling really low and wants to go home. And so they pulled that soundbite. So, yes. But with that said, if you're Aubrey and you've made the comments you've made, it's actually, I think, cooler if you stand by them and say, yes, I said that. Because she clearly said all the things she said and was feeling those things in the moment, which is fine.
All right, and very quickly then, if you could pick 5 celebs to star with you on an all-star Celebrity Apprentice, who would be on your team? 5 celebs, very quickly, please.
Oh, God.
You know what, Debbie? We've got to go. I'm so sorry. We can't even get the answer. Thank you so much, Debbie Gibson, for joining us. Back to the music right now on the show.
Today's best music with Jeremy Bradley.